Hi, I'm John of John's Carnivorous Plants, and today we're going to talk about how to avoid online deals that are sketchy. Now, oh man, I remember the incident of why I made this. I've seen quite a few people get scammed over the years, and I'm just going to let you know the number one issue is most of the time people will prey on your ignorance. So, if you don't know what a plant is, or if you don't even know what plants do exist in terms of carnivorous plants, there are going to be people out there who try to sell you a blue Venus flytrap that doesn't exist and then send you celery seeds. I've seen that happen quite a few times, and it's very, very common. Now, to really make sure you're doing pretty good, a track record of sales. Now, this isn't always indicative of a good seller, but generally speaking, if you go to eBay, Etsy, or like even if you ask around about a particular vendor online in online groups, people will generally tell you their opinion of them or like ask you to see the listing because they're interested, and very quickly it'll pass the sniff test or not. Now there are people who have made some very interesting reputations for themselves by selling potentially poached plants, etc., and people have readily taken them up or will suggest these people in the future. I don't like naming names and whatnot because I believe some people can get caught up in an illegitimate thing and then will write themselves over time. It's just the thing is that there are people who do go out and they do dig up Venus flytraps or they dig up wild sundews and whatnot, and they will sell them on eBay. And in some cases that's legal, in some cases that's not. And I can't be sitting here in this video telling you for sure whether or not somebody who immediately dug up a sundew, which they said is off their backyard, I don't know. I wasn't there. All I can recommend though, seeds. There's very few seed vendors in the U.S. or even vendors point blank period in the world. So if they don't have a wide variety of carnivorous plant seeds, they're probably not legitimate. Is the best way I could put it. Because anybody who has a seed store, they have quite a very wide selection. Or like, for example, a nursery like me, whenever I'm producing seed, because I'm mostly propagating my stock clonally, the seed will tend to be a lot more seasonal, and I'll just give it away just because I can't keep it in stock consistently. Not to mention half the plants, their seed doesn't stay fresh for a very long time. So I honestly don't even recommend buying from seed most of the time unless it's like a sundew species. Now, another big thing that you can see ahead of time is if you're doing like a private sale with somebody online and they're asking for PayPal and they say they want friends and family as opposed to doing a business transaction. That's an immediate red flag. Any seller worth their weight, if you say that, oh, I'll pay the fee, which it's usually not that big of a fee at all, just to do goods and services to give you the buyer protection, then I wouldn't even go through with the conversation anymore. They're not worth your time. Anybody who is trying to avoid using goods and services on a legitimate sale of plants or something, even if it's a hobby thing, they're trying to do something to like hide from taxes or some other kind of scummy behavior. It's not worth it. I wouldn't engage with them. And frankly speaking, I know for a fact most states you have between $50 to $200 you can sell before you need a nursery license. I can't sit here and consciously suggest you go through a vendor who is not licensed, who is telling you to use a scrupulous method of payment, like Venmo, etc., and then you can't expect good things. Like if anything gets messed up in shipping or whatnot, there's nothing to protect you. It means they'll just take your money and run if the plant arrives dead. And I've seen that happen way too many times. It's just not a good thing. So last but not least, if your plants arrive dead, immediately contact the seller. So this is one of those things that if you bought a decent amount of plants and you spend a good amount of money and your order comes in completely messed up from a private vendor, do not wait. Contact them immediately. And then if they don't contact you back within 5 to 7 days after you've talked to them, you need to talk to your either financial institution or open a PayPal dispute. There's just no in between. You will see people who will try to put off your damaged order for 2 to 3 months, and they'll promise you this, that, and the other, and then once they're out of the range of being able to get hit for the package, they'll turn around and then be like, oh, well, you didn't do anything about it or ask for a refund until then. I've seen that situation happen a couple times, and it's just grimy every time. So needless to say, there are a bunch of sketchy people out there. That's why I recommend joining the Carnivorous Plant Discord. It's down in the description below. We have a list of all legitimate nurseries that we know and respect and love. So if you're around the world, we actually got quite a few places in the EU and a few places in Australia and Japan and whatnot. So hey, if you're international watching this, still a good place to find a good, list of reputable dealers and vendors. Thank you so much for watching this. Hope you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.